I'll tell you, Andy, it's getting ridiculous.
It is.
It is. It's getting. It's when I come and do my news feeds and whatever. My top 6 stories are coming from 6 or 7 different places in the country. Somebody's shooting somebody. Shootings. It's, and I'm from Detroit. You know, we have shootings there all the time. And it's churches, and it's a hospital, and a retail store, or a mall, or a fast food place. It's a school, movie theater, it's a judge's house. I mean, you're telling me right now I can't go to church. If I'm sick, I better not go to a hospital. If I need something, don't go to the store or a retail store or a mall. Heaven forbid if I want to go to the drive-thru at McDonald's or Burger King. Don't send the kids to school. Top Gun's in the theaters. Check that off the list. I ain't going to the movie theater. I have a friend that's a judge. Road rage. There's guns everywhere. And people are not using them responsibly. I hear the argument, that the first argument I hear is, well, you know, if there's shootings everywhere, we need to arm everybody. I'm like, say, what? We did Wild West once. You all remember? It was the West. There's movies with John Wayne. You can look, everybody had a gun. There were gunfights in the bar, in the streets. Whoa, kind of like now. Wow, that's weird. So you want to have more guns. So a police state. So everybody's armed. I don't know if that's the answer. I mean, even home isn't safe. If you watch the news this weekend, a retired Wisconsin judge, John Romer, he was killed at his house, his home. I can't even be freaking home. Somebody's going to come in and shoot me. The killer, by the way, that killed the judge, retired judge, had a hit list, had Mitch McConnell, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer were on the list. You know when it's easier to buy a firearm than it is to get a driver's license or a medical marijuana card or even a credit card? We need to talk about that. If you've watched my podcast, you know I'm not anti-Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was written by people who didn't just get done squirrel hunting, they just got done having a revolution. However, they didn't think or plan or envision that their children would be slaughtered in schools. There's stuff that we need to do. There's stuff that as a society and as an American culture that we need to do. Now, first of all, as a pro-Second Amendment person, the Second Amendment says you have a right to bear arms. It doesn't say you have a right to bear arms tomorrow or tonight, that you can do this and do that. That's part of the problem. I think that any patriotic, upstanding American that believes in a good Second Amendment would be willing to jump through whatever hoop they have to do to safely secure their firearm. We need, for starters, Andy, we need thorough background checks.
Yeah, get deep.
Dig deep, dig real deep. We need mental health. If there's a mental health eval or red flag there, Now, the red flag laws, I don't, that's like trying to predict the future. And you can't, well, this guy's going to do that. No. But we need mental health evaluation. We need a thorough background check. They check you better when you do a rental. Now, with rent increases the way they are, the background checks that they do are more intrusive than it takes to buy a firearm. That's what's wrong. We need thorough background checks. And if it takes 20 days, so be it. If you're an upstanding, patriotic American with nothing to hide, then 20 days you're going to be like, yep, I want to make sure that this is done right. I think I referred to when I moved here in Montana and I had hunter safety. Guess where I'm going with that one? Yeah, we all need hunter safety, and we all need training for everyone who buys a firearm. Everyone. If you're 56 years old and you have buying a 9mm Browning, a Big Bear or whatever, and you submit your cards and you've passed your background check, if you haven't had the mandatory training, then you got to take it. If you have, you'll have a certificate that says that you've done your training. You notice with a lot of these the ages of the shooters, parental responsibility and parental accountability. And if that means to the extreme, then that means to the extreme. If you've done your firearm training, you've done your background checks, you know that you shouldn't be leaving a loaded firearm just laying around the house. If someone in your care happens to take your firearm and uses it for a crime, that's pretty cut and dry to me. They used your gun. So accountability. I don't want to hear blah, blah, blah. Accountability. Background checks. Mental health evals. Minors? I'm torn on minors. However, minors need to jump through 5 times the hoops as an adult would be, and still should have to be required to have adult supervision. It's a no-brainer. They can't smoke, they can't drink, even though we did. They need adult supervision. A lot of these things are not that intrusive. I say it again. If you're pissed that you have to wait 20 minutes and you have nothing to hide, then what? You're mad because of the inconvenience? Second Amendment is going to ensure that you get your purchase, your firearm. So I think that the shootings are they're out of control. It's scary. Even in the town I live in a town that's 65, 70,000 people. We have Walmarts. We have theaters. I'm not shitting you. Top Gun is here. I've not gone to see it yet. People are dying in movie theaters. Haven't you heard? Died in Burger King. Yeah, I could live in fear. You could give me that argument, which is pretty lame. Oh, you're living in fear. As an American citizen, I shouldn't have to live in fear that I can't go to church, or I can't go to the clinic, or I can't go to school. Lighten up. There's some measures that we need to take as a society, as a culture. Second Amendment means we have the right to bear arms. I always like to put responsibly and accountably in there. It should be in there. Maybe if they went back in time, we could have put that, hey, George, Benny, put accountability. Put that in there. Responsibility. Can't be just like in the Wild West, like you want to go, well, everybody needs to, can you imagine? Woohoo, bang, bang, bang. We've already got, in a small town that's not very far from where I lived, we had an incident a year ago Had a bunch of people in a bar. Guy was going to be a designated driver. He was sober. One of the drunk people got a gun and shot him. That's not responsible. That's not what you want as a society, is that me and Andy running around the street, shooting pistols in the air. Because if everybody's armed, what are you going to do about it? I'm armed. You see, it's a big dog chasing his tail. So, we need to do some stuff. I'm not saying we need to do this. We need to do some stuff. Background checks, training, accountability. Maybe we can go to the movie. Everybody say, hey, you knew the new restaurant in town? Have you been there? Hell no, I'll get shot. Somebody will come in and start shooting the place up. Oh, yeah, but guns, if there's somebody in there with a gun, yeah, like the guy that wanted to be the designated driver, the sober guy got shot. No, we need to knuckle down on this. Knuckle down on this. I don't want to see one of my friends here in Great Falls all of a sudden be in the Tribune. Yeah, somebody went up and shot up the Petco and so-and-so was in there shopping. I don't want my heart broke here in town. So let's get accountable. Let's get accountable. All right. What else is going on? Accountable. We had NBA Finals, man. It was a series everybody wanted to. It was a series everybody wanted to see. They're both number 3 seeds. You got the Celtics, Steph Curry, Golden State. We got 2 games in. They're going back to Boston. Yeah, I think we're
going to Boston too.
We are going to Boston. Annie, are we going to be in Boston?
We're going to Boston, Pipe.
We're going to Boston. So we're going to go to Boston. They're on their way back. Golden State's got some work to do. There's no doubt about it. But it's kind of refreshing, Andy, not having to watch an NBA Finals with LeBron and the Lakers, and everybody's like, oh no, LeBron's not in the finals. LeBron doesn't even make my top 5 of all time. Jerry West is the NBA logo dude. It's like Jerry West with the basketball. He ain't on my top 5. Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson averaged career triple-double. Triple-double. If you're a basketball fan, you know what I'm saying. If you're not, I'm not going to explain it. He ain't on my top 5. Well, who is on it? Well, I like Magic Johnson on my top 5 in the Showtime Lakers. He ran the championship team. Head-to-head with Larry Bird. Boston Celtics, same era. He's on my top 5. Michael Jordan, did anybody? Yeah. He's got logos, shoes, cultures, Spike Lee. It's got to be the shoes. Michael Jordan is on my top 5. Wilt Chamberlain. Can you say 100 points? Bill Russell. Can you say, I'll get in your face? There's my top 5. I put Kobe Bryant as an honorable mention. Dr. J as an honorable mention. And, of course, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon as an honorable mention. So, for those of you that miss LeBron, get used to it. Lakers ain't going to be nothing next year either. They all have the money. So, but we're going to Boston, right? We're going Tuesday?
Going to Boston.
Going to Boston. All right. We're going to Boston. Gonna watch Celtics kick some butt. All right. What else is going on this last week that, we got you, oh boy, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. I know it's old news, but let's do it one more time. All right, one more time with Amber and Johnny. Go Team Johnny. All right. Two things I learned this weekend after the trial. Johnny Depp is in Europe with partying with the band with like Alice Cooper and the Hollywood vampires. And, yeah, he's partying, playing gigs, having a good time. Amber's looking for work. You know, Amber's not even qualified to be a service animal. I mean, she's not really housebroken, so I don't know if I want to take the chance with her. What a nice claim to fame, huh?
Beautiful.
I also saw yesterday on the Sunday paper, the Sunday main feed, we see that Amber and her fans have a GoFundMe page to help pay Johnny. I watched that, Andy. I was forced to watch it by management. It was horrible. It was horrible. Also in the news last week, in the Republican primary in the state of Georgia, Brian Kemp cruised, and I mean cruised, like 70% of the vote over the Donald Trump-backed David Perdue. After the primary, the former President Donald Trump immediately stated that the Republicans rigged the election and demanded a recount. This is a good one, Andy. The city that I live in, they're now suing a church. Holy shnikes. I'm not really sure in my Bible studies, and I'm not a Bible scholar, but I'm not sure, pretty sure that suing a church is not in the Bible, and I don't think that Jesus said, don't feed and provide shelter to the hungry and the homeless. I don't know. I'm trying to pull up some stuff for it now. If you're not, it's all over the news. I'm just wondering who's paying for the city to sue a church. Who is it? Are lawyers working pro bono? Sonny and Cher bono? Are they the taxpayers? I mean, if the taxpayers are helping fund that, I don't want to be there. I can do enough to piss God off alone. I don't need the city helping me along by suing a church. So, how is it paid for? Does the city have a GoFundMe page like Amber Heard?
Probably.
Pro bono, some lawyers just volunteer his time. I got a sneaking suspicions that we're paying for it, the taxpayers, partly at least. Sorry, not my choice. New warnings from Putin. We're shipping more adversive, more powerful, longer distant weapons, and he's like, look, man, I'm tired of that. I'm saber rattling this, and I'm going to saber rattle that. Tired. I don't even know it's worth a mention. Is he still getting his ass kicked?
I think so.
I hear there yesterday, Sunday, they were bombing Kyiv.
I think they were throwing more missiles at Kyiv.
Throwing more missiles at Kyiv. Well, all right. I see we're rolling a little bit. It's summer again. We're going to have to remind everybody one more time. It's summer here in Montana. It's summer. Oh, did you see, by the way, Andy, that we had our first Yellowstone Park fatality last week? It was a lady who was gored and flew 10 feet in the air, and then eventually she passed by. Tourists. For those of you who are not from Montana, when summer comes, the tourists come. And when the tourists come, they want to take selfies with buffaloes and ride buffaloes and give hand jobs to grizzly bears and, for photo ops,
There's rarely a happy ending.
Yeah, very rarely. Not for the tourists anywhere. No. So we had our first fatality. It's sad. It was extremely predictable. But for those of there that keep it a scoreboard, 10 feet is now our limit, our record for the summer. So far, we had a lady 10 feet. So that's the bar that's set. If you want to do 12, I think there was someone dancing on a hot spring Saturday too.
Nice.
Yeah. We were talking about summer. I got sidetracked because buffaloes and tourists won't happen again unless there's more buffaloes and tourists. We're going to tell you again, if it's 70 degrees out and you park in the sun and your windows are cracked open about this way, all the way around, the car's going to be over 110 degrees in less than 20 minutes. I'll kill a dog. I'm seeing the news already. You people don't... Why are you taking your dogs out in the first goddamn place? Don't take your dogs in the car in the summer because obviously you're not smart enough. You can't leave the car running with the air conditioning on and the Eagles playing. Dogs don't like the Eagles, for starters. And second of all, what if the car throws a belt? Oh, the air conditioning's on. Fluffy will be fine. Air conditioner stopped as you walked in the door. The shelters are full in the summer. It's tragic. All over the country. It's time to adopt a friend and family member. I can't implore it enough. Don't take your dogs out. Make sure they have plenty of water, plenty of shade. If the sidewalk burns your hand, it burns their feet. Okay? So, please, just don't. We got full shelters. Adopt. Shop. Don't shop. Foster, rescue, empty the shelters. Andy, are we done?
I think so, yeah. I think we're wrapping it up now.
We can wrap it up now. For the people of Great Falls, duck and cover. You heard the lightning. Not my call. I didn't. Nobody asked me. I think everybody... You're going to have a good week. We got the NBA Finals again on Wednesday and Friday. The NHL is on their conference finals. And as soon as the NBA Finals are done, the hockey finals will start there. But we are going to Boston. We're shipping out to Boston. And we will see you next week. Next week we're done.
Next week.
Putin's still saber rattling. Keep ducking covering. Love your dog. Kiss your dog. We will see you next Monday.